revise. Okay? So let's going to start with the idea of what is exactly we are going to find in this reading. My question is, where have all the fish gone? Where have all the fish gone? What do you think they gone? Miss, it's easy. They have gone to where they have gone. Why they think they are not in that same place? Based on what? Let's going to listen some predictions. Why there are some species that disappear? What caused this? Let's going to ask some of your friends. Alejandrita, where do you think a species disappear? What can cause this?
Humans' activities.
Okay, it could be a one option, yes. What it could be another option, Kiara?
Other species eat the...
Okay. Mia, in your case, what do you think? What caused that an species disappear? Okay. Valentina? Trash, pollution. We have a lot of factors, yes, but in particular in this reading, we are going to analyze one that is affecting our ocean, okay? Let's go to read.
Unit 4, Reading 1. Where have all the fish gone? Throughout history, people have thought of the ocean as a diverse and limitless source of food.
Today, however, there are clear signs that the oceans do have a limit. Most of the big fish in our oceans, including many of the fish we love to eat, are now gone. One major factor is overfishing. People are taking so many fish from the sea that species cannot reproduce quickly enough to maintain their populations. How did this problem start? And what is the future for fish? Source of the problem. For centuries, local fishermen caught only enough fish to feed their families and their communities. They used traditional gear like spears and hooks that targeted a single fish at a time. However, in the mid-20th century, more people around the world became interested in fish as a source of protein and healthy fats. In response to this, governments gave money and other help to the fishing industry. As a result, the fishing industry grew. Large commercial fishing companies began catching huge quantities of fish. They made a lot of money selling the fish around the world.
Okay. What is one of the major causes? Who can tell me the answer that we listen? Rafaela.
Overfishing.
Very good, Rafaela. Please, guys, in your text, Flavio, highlight the word overfishing because that is one of the major problems that make the fish disappear or the species disappear. And this is something we are going to describe in this reading. One major factor is overfishing, okay? And the sea that the species cannot reproduce quickly enough to maintain in their populations. So we need a time where the species need to grow, where the species need to reproduce. How do we call this period in English? Is the period when the fish reproduce and the little babies grow. How do we call in this in English? Where the fisher can't go fishing because we need to preserve the species. How do we call this period? Alejandro.
Breeding,
Wedding?
breeding season. Yeah.
Okay. Well, exactly, it's a close season. Okay, I'm going to put through the chat. It's the close season. During this period, we don't have fishing. A person can't fish during this period. And then when they reestablish, we say an open season. The opposite, okay? So, here we have with the idea of fishing. That's why I ask you, have you ever gone fishing? Remember? Have you ever gone fishing? And some of you say, no. Only Sebastian talk about it, says yes. No? Obviously, because we are going to talk about this. And what is the source of the problem? According to this reading, it says, in the middle of the 20th century, people around the world became interested in fishing as a source of protein and healthy fats. So this is one of the questions that responds in my PPT. Why we have to protect the fish? Because it is a source of protein and healthy fat. So obviously for a government, fishing, yes, help in the economy. But we need to control this, okay? So please turn the page 66. And here we are going to see, you can see, what is this? How do we call this? Don't tell me they are pools. How do we call when we have artificials? Silvana.
Fish farms, I think. No.
What?
Fish farms.
Aha, fish farming. Excellent, Silvana. You remember about the farming, no? And how do we call this? Aqua. Does anybody remember? When we have a farming, we call aqua. No, remember? Aqua. We call this aquaculture. Yes, I remember. Yes, Aleshka, you remember? There was a topic in the previous unit that we talked about some farming, aquaculture. Yes, I remember, mi Milagros. So we are going to continue, okay, in our reading about this. It says, fish around the world in traditional, they say, they started using a new fishing technologies. Obviously, if they say that this costs a lot of money, I need to invest on machines, on things like this in order to grow my economy. These technologies include sonar to locate fish and dragging large nets along the ocean floor. Modern equipment enable commercial fishermen to catch many more fish than local fishermen. Okay? What is your position about this? Have you ever had the experience to go on fishing or to have a family member that is working in this industry? About fishing in Callao, a friend, an uncle? Because we have the two sides, yes? What happened? It says that around the world, they come to Peru and they got all the fishes with this technology. And what happened in Peru? We just obtained what? What the big industry left. I said, no, this fish is not so good. So let's leave to Peruvians what is the rest, what is not so good. Did you know about this? Peru export avocados, fishes, export more. Oh, interesting. It's interesting. Thank you about this. So we have a lot of ideas about this. So we need to protect. That's why we fight for the 200 miles. Do you know something about this? I'm going to put in the chat. What do you know about Peruvian 200 miles? What are the ships that are coming to Peru in order to get all our fish, all our seafood from China, from Chile, from Canada? Those big fish industry comes and recollect all the fish that we have in our sea. So we need to know more about this. We need to contextualize what happened in Peru. What species in Peru probably are causing disappearing. Most of you probably prepare in the PPT and species that happen in Australia, that happen, I don't know, in Canada, no? But what about Peru? What is the species that we cannot see a lot? So get focused on this. Thank you. I have seen that a lot of students are writing, yes, through the chat. Some of you have some relatives, yes, and probably you can ask your parents or your grandparents or relatives, no? Do you know what species we don't have or probably Peruvian can consume because people around the world has a priority? For example, the idea of avocado. When you go to the market, you can see a diversity of avocados, yes? One of the avocados we cannot see is the avocado called Hass. And it's the best of the avocados. And we produce here in Peru. But when you ask why we cannot buy or find this in the market, they immediately respond, they said, it's because we export the best product around the world. And what happened to us? Can we deserve our own product as the best selection? Of course, they will say, but the government imposed the idea of exporting, yes? But the idea is also that we can, as a citizen, consume what is our best quality. What is your position about this? Huh? Alejandro says that we don't have in our ocean sharks. Why not, Alejandro? I'm going to respond this. I was asking my husband too, and I said, why Peru can't have? Because we don't have the right temperature for sharks. That's why we can't. So remember, we have two currents, yes? In the south, what is the name of the current? Who can tell me? I know that you know. Raise your hand. I would like to listen. You read a lot. What is the name of the south current? Start with H. And that current is very, very cool. Very cool. No? You don't remember? I can listen. What is the name of the current? Huh? Excellent, Kiara. The current of Humboldt. Excellent. Very good. Humboldt. Excellent, Gia. Very good. And in the north? What is the name of the current in the north? Alejandro is texting in Google. What is the name? Huh? Start with the N. And it's causing a lot of natural disasters.
Niño.
Aha, excellent. No, Miss Erika. I asked the participation, no respond, nothing. No. So we have in the north, the Niño Current, and in the south, the Humboldt Current. What happens when these two currents go together? Who can tell me? What happens when these two currents goes together? What is the phenomenon that occurs when they go together? Because this current is so cold and this current is so hot. Trash in the ocean. No, not exactly. We generate what? The crash of the plaques, the tectonic plaques, remember? Tectonic plaques? What are you talking about? We're talking about animals of the sea. Okay, guys, we need to study all the ideas, okay? And of course, Adriana, occurs some what? Tremors. Tremors. At the beginning, we have some tremors. Then the intensity goes into an earthquake. And then a tsunami. Obviously, no? First, we have some tremors. Just little movements. And then when the movement is big, we have an earthquake. And then when we have with the sea, we have tsunamis. Yes, very good, okay? So we revise probably that you learned in primary. Some of you remember that we have two currents. So we are happy, Peru are happy to have these currents in one country. Yes, so you have to feel proud. You know what? My country has two currents. What about yours? No? Is that unique? What do you think is the opinion of the Bolivian people? They don't have sea, guys. They don't have sea. Huh? But guess what? Even though they don't have sea, they have what? They have the marine. They have the marine, yes. The Bolivian Marines. So where they practice? They practice in Peru. Or in Chile, okay? Don't tell me in the Titicacas Lake, okay? They don't practice in the Titicacas Lake, they practice in the ocean, okay? All right, let's going to continue about this reading, about the rise of the little fish, okay? What increase or what is the data that we have?
In addition, they started using new fishing technologies that made fishing easier. These technologies included sonar to locate fish and dragging large nets along the ocean floor. Modern equipment enabled commercial fishermen to catch many more fish than local fishermen. Rise of the little fish. In 2010, the Census of Marine Life estimated that 90% of the big ocean fish populations are gone, mainly due to overfishing. In particular, commercial fishing has greatly reduced the number of large fish such as cod, tuna, and salmon. Today, there are plenty of fish in the sea, but they're mostly just the little ones. Small fish, such as sardines and anchovies, have more than doubled in number. This is largely because there aren't enough big fish to eat them. This is a problem because in order to be stable, oceans need predators. Predators are necessary to kill the sick and weak fish. Without them, there are too many unhealthy small fish in the sea. This can cause serious problems for the sea's food chain and the health of our oceans.
Okay, a mini quiz. Who can tell me examples of big fish? Valentina.
Shark?
Yes, but In the reading, they mention. Tell me the examples that in the reading they say. Beef, fish. Luciana.
Tuna.
Tuna. One more. Joaquina.
Salmon.
Salmon, tuna. One more. Maria Paz.
Cod.
Excellent, very good. Now, who can tell me examples of small fish? Small fish. Cielito. Sardines and Gia.
Anchovies.
Anchovies. Excellent. Now, who can tell me what is the role of the predators? What is the purpose of the predator in a food chain? Who can tell me? Yes, Adriana, they eat, but they have a role. What is the role of this animal? Maria Paz.
Predators are necessarily to kill sick fish.
Aha. Only sick fish? Only that? Valentina.
And weak fish.
Weak fish.
Aha. Very good, girls. Very good. Sick and weak fish. Okay? That is the mission. That is the mission. Obviously, Adriana says, Miss, the purpose are that they eat. No, they need to eat. Yeah, but they have a role. What happens if in the ocean we have a lot of weak and sick animals? No? We are overpopulated. So the predator eat them. Okay? So that is the role that we need to also preserve the predator. No? What is the future for the fish? It's something that we have here in our question.
A future for fish? A study published in 2006 in the journal Science made a prediction. If we continue to overfish the oceans, most of the fish that we catch now, from tuna to sardines, will disappear by 2050. However, we can prevent this situation if we restore the ocean's biodiversity. Scientists say there are a few ways we can do this. First, commercial fishing companies need to catch fewer large fish. This will increase the number of predator fish in the sea. Another way to improve the biodiversity of the oceans is to develop aquaculture, fish farming. Growing fish on farms means that we catch fewer wild fish. This gives wild fish a chance to survive and reproduce. In addition, we can make good choices about what we eat. For example, we can stop eating the fish that are most in danger, like bluefin tuna, or only eat fish from fish farms. If we are careful today, we can still look forward to a future with fish.
So here we have solutions. How many solutions we found in this end? 3 solutions, okay? We need to know exactly what we are eating. We need to what? Eat, especially from aquaculture, in order to restore some of the fish. And we need to stop large fish, to stop fishing these animals, because they are vital they are crucial in the oceans. Okay, guys, let me explain you what you have to present by Wednesday. It's your oral presentation about your PPT. In your PPT, or if you don't have, or you don't want, you can also show in the class your pamphlet and explain, if you want. You need to describe the species, okay? I will suggest that a species in Peru will be nice. Where is it located? What are its predator? Who is its prey? What is that? Who eat this animal and what this animal eats? Why is this species in danger? Explain why do you want to protect this animal, and don't forget to finish with your conclusion. Okay? You have further questions about this? This presentation is on Wednesday. So we work in class. We finish one of the understanding main ideas, and then we start with the oral presentations. Okay? Oral presentation. So what is the idea? I share the PPT with Miss Milagros and I explain. Don't put a lot of information because it's not reading, it's explaining. Okay? It's explaining. You need to explain. As I explain in class, you need to explain this. Okay? If you want, you can add some photos about these animals and characteristics. If you don't want, you can write. You just only put pictures. Okay? For example, the predator of this animal is this. And then you show just a photo of the predator. Or the prey, no? The prey. Just the photos. So you don't have exactly to put a lot of writing. Okay? So see you Wednesday with your oral presentation. I'm very enthusiastic to see your creativity in this presentation. Okay? See you Wednesday. Goodbye. Goodbye, Miss Erica. Thank you so much for your help. I cannot see Arturo. Arturo was not present, yes? Oh, yes. Goodbye, Arturito.